Okay, guys, item number 2 on our essential list of things you should have in your bug out bag is food, right? You're going to have to carry some food with you. I like to keep some freeze-dried food because it's light, it's easy to carry, doesn't take up much room, so I have freeze-dried food with me. I also carry this little mold pack, right, and it's got all kinds of goodies in it. Keep some granola bars, right? I got, I don't know, half a dozen of those in there. Some tuna packs. I change these out, eat them every now and then, but they're good for, like, this one says 2027, so they're good for a couple of years, right? So just don't leave them out in the sun and things like that. Some beef jerky and other things like that. So you got to have some energy while you're out on the road, right? Or you're trying to get from point A to point B. Now, not only that, you got to have some comfort. So I carry some instant coffee, right? Because we all know how I am with my coffee. So I got to have some coffee, right? My wife's staring out the window at me. So, got to have coffee with you. Also, you may have to forage for food, right? So, if you don't know what you're looking for, get yourself a book, right? Get yourself a book so you can learn what is edible and what's not, and go out and practice. You know, go out foraging for food. Just take a day and say, I'm going to go look. You know, go look for things. And again, like we talked about with water, if you have a specific route, you may know where there is some edible foliage on the way, right? So you can say, hey, I can stop here. On the way here, there's some raspberries or some whatever. Also, something you should probably carry on you, which I do, is this little pack, right? And this I use for foraging. Fill it up. You know, and when you're done, you just kind of seal it up like this. Strap these together. And there you go. And it stays sealed. As you can see, you can barely squeeze the air out of it, right? So, I mean, it's a nice little pack. And when you're not using it, you know, you fold it up. Well, if I let the air out of it. But anyway, it doesn't take up very much room in your pack. Nice and light. Something I suggest having on you. Of course, you should always have your knife on you in case you need to cut branches of this or that or whatever off. But yeah, learn to forage. You can make teas. You can make all kinds of stuff. And if you get a book that's specific to your area, right? Because there's things up here in the Northeast that we have that you don't have down south or maybe out in the Southwest. You know, so get one that's geared towards your area, so you know what you're looking for, right? One last item, always make sure you have something to use to eat your food with, right? And you don't have to have one of these specifically. This is just something that I picked up for a few bucks at, I think at Walmart or whatever. But there's a lot of different kinds you can use. This one has a little serrated edge. You might have seen me talk about these before. We got a few of them, but have yourself something to use to eat your food with. Because you got to keep your energy up, you got to keep your calorie intake up, especially if you're going to be on the move. So food is very important. So we will be back with the next episode of things that you need, essential items in your bug out bag. We'll see you then.